Are you currently studying for your OET exam and looking for up-to-date guidance to help with your preparation? In this video, I give you my top tips for how to pass OET in 2023. Hello everyone and welcome to another video from Swoosh English. My name is Grace and I am an expert OET teacher. Now I know that there is a lot of information out there designed to help you with your OET preparation, and it can get a little bit overwhelming. What I wanted to do is bring you my top pieces of advice for how you can successfully prepare for and pass your OET exam in 2023. So let's get started. So these are my top tips for how you can ensure you pass your OET exam in 2023. First up is know the exam format. So there are a few questions you should ask yourself to ensure that you really know the format of each exam. Firstly, how long is each exam? How long do you have to complete it? How many questions are there? What type of questions and tasks are there? What is the assessment criteria? And where do I write my answers? So it's important before you even start your preparation that you are able to familiarize yourself with the exam format and you can answer these questions for each subtest. In order to do this, I recommend that you look at real practice tests so that you know exactly what to expect in the exam. You can check out our courses at Swoosh English for access to real OET practice tests. So we have exam readiness tests, mock exams, as well as video courses that come with practice tests that you can do along the way. So this is a great way to familiarize yourself with the format of each exam. Next, identify your weaknesses. The first thing that you should do when you start your preparation is to take a mock exam or readiness test. Once you've completed that, you can identify the areas where your score was low and then focus on improving in those areas. So it is very important that before you start your preparation, you know which areas of weakness you have so that you know where you can focus your study. Next is to have a study plan. So once you know which areas you need to focus on, you need to know what you're going to do in order to improve them. So ask yourself these questions. Firstly, how long do you have to prepare for the exam? As this is going to affect how often you need to study. If your exam is booked for 1 month's time, you're going to need to do quite an intensive period of study in order to prepare. However, if you have a bit longer, let's say a year, you can spread out your study a little bit more over time. Next, how many days a week can you study? Are there certain days a week which you will not be able to study? In which case, block these off and focus on which days you will be able to allocate study time. How many hours a day? So we do recommend that you study little and often. So it generally is better to do, say, 1 or 2 hours a day, several times a week, rather than doing maybe once or twice a week for 5 or 6 hours. So little and often is recommended. What will you focus on in each study session? So can you have a specific plan? For example, on Mondays, you might spend an hour of reading practice. On Tuesdays, perhaps you'll meet up with your study partner and you'll do some speaking practice. It's important that for each allocated study session, you know exactly what you're going to focus on. And finally, how will you ensure you stick to your study plan? It can be really difficult to stay motivated during exam preparation. So what are you going to put in place to ensure that you stick to your study plan and you stay motivated? Here's an example of what a study plan might look like. You can see that I've put an activity for every single day. However, some days have more intense period of studies than other. So, for example, on a Tuesday, I've got a plan to do a listening or reading mock exam, and I also have scheduled a study partner speaking practice session. However, on Sunday, I want to give myself a little bit of a break, but I still want to do something that's going to help improve my English. So I've decided that I'll watch a film and perhaps record new vocabulary. So you can see here, this is a great example study plan of doing little and often. So a little bit of study as often as you can. And you can use this as a guide to plan your own study schedule. Next is to get expert feedback. So you should be submitting your OET letters to an experienced teacher and then use their corrections and feedback to improve your next letter. It's all very well doing writing practice on your own at home, but if you don't have an experienced teacher looking at your letter, correcting it and providing feedback, you won't know how to improve. So it is essential that you have someone looking at your letters and giving you that all-important feedback. Our writing correction service at Swoosh English has a team of expert OET teachers who will return your letter with their detailed feedback within 24 hours. So this is a great way of getting that all-important feedback. We've got a team of teachers ready and waiting to give you corrections. As you can see in this example, they'll write a detailed comment in each of the criteria so that you can use that feedback to improve your next letter. You should also do speaking role plays with teacher feedback. If your teacher is listening to your role plays, they can tell you which areas you're doing well in and what you can do to improve your score. So it's the same as writing. You need to do plenty of speaking practice in the presence of someone who can give you expert feedback and tell you where you need to improve. You should also get advice on exam strategies. Again, an expert OET teacher can tell you where you're going wrong and give you strategies for success. It's very important for OET reading and listening that you know the exact exam strategies that are going to help you complete the exam and get the best possible score. Next up is use reliable materials. You should be aware of online resources. There's lots and lots of online study resources out there. However, they might not always be reliable. So, you should always use your materials from an OET premium preparation provider, as these have been approved by OET, so you know that they're going to be reliable. You should also take mock exams either from OET Official or a premium preparation provider because you can ensure that they are accurate, they're going to be similar to the real OET exam, and ultimately help you in your OET preparation. Next up is use effective OET exam strategies. So I mentioned these earlier. Let's take a look and see why this is important. You should know which strategies to use for each subtest, as this will give you a better chance of achieving your desired score. Let's take a look at OET reading, for example. Some essential strategies that you need to be able to use are skimming, scamming, reading. Let's take a look, for example, at some OET reading strategies. These are skimming, scanning, reading for detail, and inferring opinion and attitude. It's essential that you are confident using all of these strategies and you know at which points in the OET reading test you need to use them, as this will help you improve your score. For OET listening, we have listening for gist, specific information, detail, and again, inferring opinion and attitude. Once again, you're going to use all of these strategies in the listening test, and it's important that you're confident using them. For OET speaking, you're going to need to gather and give information, check understanding, sequence and provide structure, and also show empathy. So once again, you need to be sure that you can use all of these different strategies in order to get a high score. And for OET writing, some strategies that you'll need to be using: making the purpose clear, selecting important information from the case notes, using correct genre and style, and organizing your letter. So if you are able to use all of these strategies, once again, you're going to be more likely to get a higher score. You can learn these essential OET strategies with Swoosh English in our video courses and mock exam analysis videos. So we have an extensive video course on each of the subtests, which goes through the strategies that I've mentioned here. Also, every time you take a mock exam, there is an analysis video afterwards. Again, this analysis video will help you with the strategies needed for each part of the subtest. And finally, another important factor in OET success is to stay motivated. You need to set goals and have a clear study plan at the beginning of your preparation to ensure that you can achieve these goals. Remind yourself why you're doing this. So when it gets tough, when you're not feeling very motivated, think of the end result, which is getting your dream job and perhaps living in a new country. So try and keep this in your mind, as it will really help to motivate you. And finally, visualize success. Imagine how amazing you'll feel when you pass the exam and all of that hard work has paid off. Thank you for watching this video, everyone. I really do encourage you to follow the advice, as it will increase your chances of OET exam success. Now, if you're looking for more content like this, I'd like to tell you about our free OET course with Swoosh English. It goes into a little bit more detail on each of the 4 subtests and gives you plenty more tips on how to maximize your OET exam preparation. So if you're interested in signing up for that completely free course, go down into the description below this video and you will find a link where you can enroll today. So thanks once again for joining me. I look forward to seeing you in another video very soon. Happy studying, everybody. Goodbye.